I'm finna do a motherfucking dance. Do the star link. Do the star link. Broke nigga, do the star link. Pussy nigga, do the star link. Them niggas can't do FaceTime like us. Hey, hey, on everything, all right? I'm so high up, nigga, we over the clouds, right? Good morning, glory. What it is, Monday morning? Yeah. What we doing today? How we turning up?
Ross flew commercial this week.
Oh, man. Poor guy.
We ain't hired like Rick Ross in the airport neither. It's all good. Heading back to New York. Let's go next.
50 Cent just turned up the pressure on Rick Ross after the Florida rapper was spotted waiting for a commercial flight, and the internet exploded almost instantly. For someone who has spent years being closely associated with private jets, luxury estates, and over-the-top living, one airport photo was all it took to set the internet on fire.
Like he was hiding because he was taking a commercial flight.
Rick Ross looked so depressed to be flying with y'all junkies.
Rick Ross was spotted waiting at the gate for a commercial flight, and within hours, the reactions were coming from every direction. 50 Cent jumped in, Uncle Murda jumped in, Drake's fan base jumped in, and Ross himself eventually had no choice but to respond.
Uncle Murda, you ain't never killed nothing. But what I want to do is give you and all your kids a free cleaning, free teeth cleaning. I know what 50 going through right now. He may not be in the mood for this, Daphne Joy.
But how did a single airport sighting turn into one of hip-hop's biggest talking points in recent memory? That's exactly what we're breaking down today. To understand why this moment hit so hard, you have to understand who Rick Ross is and the image he spent 2 decades building.
That put a wet towel over his head.
Ross has never been subtle about the life he lives. Since his breakout in 2006 with Hustling, a record that sparked a full-on bidding war between major labels, Ross came into the game with a specific identity already locked in. Deep voice, unshakable confidence, and a lifestyle that matched every word he rapped about. When his debut album, Port of Miami, hit #1 on the Billboard 200, it was clear this wasn't just another new artist making noise. This was someone who understood exactly what image he wanted to project, and he committed to it completely.
Over the years, that image became one of the most recognizable in modern rap. The nickname The Biggest Boss wasn't just a tagline, it was a brand. Multiple #1 albums, the launch of Maybach Music Group.
For the ones who want to know where my jet at, I obviously didn't get the memo. It's being updated with Starlink. And I chose to fly commercial to Colombia to go partner with Trick Daddy. When Ricky Rose takes flights to 6 digits, I'm going to get some money.
And a roster that included names like Meek Mill all reinforced the idea that Ross wasn't just talking about success, he was building it in real time. And the lifestyle he showcased publicly made the whole thing feel real to fans. Luxury cars, designer fashion, private travel, and properties that most people will never step foot inside. One of his most talked about purchases was Evander Holyfield's legendary Georgia estate, a 109-room mansion that became one of the most recognizable celebrity homes in the country. Ross didn't just live there, he found ways to generate income from it, allowing major film productions to shoot scenes on the property.
Rich cut his own grass.
Just imagine if I had the chance to slap 50 Cent with this shit right here. Come get it.
It was a move that showed he wasn't treating big purchases purely as status symbols. He was thinking about them as business opportunities. He later added a Miami home on Star Island to his portfolio, reportedly paying in cash. And his car collection includes everything from a Ferrari 488 Spider and a Ferrari 458 Italia to a Lamborghini Murcielago and a Tesla Cybertruck. For nearly 2 decades, that kind of lifestyle content has been front and center in the Ross brand, which is exactly why one photo of him standing in an airport terminal hit differently than it would for almost anyone else. When the image started making the rounds online, social media reacted immediately.
Deciding to your life up. Rick, I'm gonna your life up.
People who had followed Ross for years knew him through the lens of a customized Gulfstream G550, a jet he had publicly praised and shown off on multiple occasions. The aircraft reportedly features reflective gold lettering over a glossy black and pearl gold finish, a detail Ross himself had highlighted in the past. So seeing him at a commercial gate, bag in hand, waiting alongside regular travelers, created an instant contrast that the internet couldn't ignore. The timing didn't help either. This wasn't happening in a vacuum. In the weeks before the airport photo appeared,
Is it common knowledge that you mow your own lawn?
I think everybody in Fayetteville, they kind of know when the weather's right and they see that big tractor out there.
You are mowing tractor? You're mowing your lawn, like a John Deere or something like that?
One time for John Deere.
Look at it. What kind of rich cut his own grass? Why you out there cutting your own grass?
Got the one with the radio, the AC in it. I tinted the windows.
How many acres you mowing?
Man, I'm not even sure now. I believe close to 400. When I go out and mow the lawn, I had the homies with me too.
You're trying to save money, nigga? You don't want to pay for the lawn to get cut, huh? The AC broken in the.
So we got a bunch of other smaller tractors. So when they see the big one out, they know that's the ball.
50 Cent had already been making posts about Ross, including reacting to a viral yacht video that stirred up online speculation. Uncle Murda had also been involved in the back and forth, and Drake's ongoing tensions with Ross kept his name circulating across fan communities. The airport photo landed right in the middle of all that existing noise, giving everyone fresh material to work with. 50 Cent wasted no time. He connected the sighting to earlier posts he had already been making and turned the moment into another round of public jokes aimed directly at Ross. For 50, this is a familiar playbook. He's known for waiting on a viral moment and then using it to extend a conversation that keeps his name in the headlines alongside whoever he's targeting.
No, that's a
All your
friendship.
homies on the weekend, like, yo, what y'all?
Yeah, let's cut the grass. No, that's some of the coolest.
With Ross, that strategy has been working for well over a decade.
Their rivalry goes back years, filled with diss tracks, interviews, social media shots, and public exchanges that have kept fans entertained through multiple chapters. Ross once joked about buying 50's music catalog. They've traded personal comments and interviews on podcasts and across Instagram stories. Their feud has stretched so far beyond music that at this point it operates almost like its own ongoing series, and both of them know it. Uncle Murda quickly added his voice to the conversation, posting himself moving through an airport, heading back to New York, using the moment to mock the reports about Ross flying commercial.
Ross is clapping back at 50 Cent Uncle Murda, and he did not hold back. Fans are speculating this whole thing started after Uncle Murda posted a Instagram story featuring a viral post from X that showed what appeared to be Rick Ross waiting on a commercial flight at the airport. But it looks like Rick Ross wasn't too happy.
The online reaction spread fast, and before long, it wasn't just rap fans paying attention. It was everyone with a timeline. Drake's fan base entered the conversation next, pointing to lyrics from his Iceman album that they believed were directed at Ross and the luxury image he's built over the years. Whether those lines were actually connected to the airport moment is impossible to confirm. But once fans online made the connection, the comparison spread everywhere. The story had officially grown beyond a simple travel photo. Ross wasn't going to sit quietly while the jokes piled up. He addressed the situation through Instagram stories, making it clear he had no intention of ignoring the commentary. But his most direct response came in the form of a live stream, and it was designed to send a very specific message.
He went live from inside his private jet. Cruising above the clouds, Ross walked viewers through the aircraft, showed off the interior, and pointed out that the jet had recently been upgraded with Starlink internet, which was allowing him to stream live with a smooth connection from tens of thousands of feet in the air. He made the point directly. The reason he had taken a commercial flight was simply because the jet was being serviced and updated, not because of any financial situation. In his own words, he chose to fly Colombia to go party with Trick Daddy, framing the whole thing as a personal decision rather than a necessity. During the live stream, he laughed off the criticism, showed fans different parts of the aircraft, and took shots at 50 Cent and Uncle Murda, calling out 50 specifically and suggesting that deep down 50 admires what Ross has built. He even joked about 50 bringing a luxury car to a car show and pictured Uncle Murda rolling up in something far less impressive.
The clip spread instantly. His supporters celebrated the broadcast as proof that the financial rumors were exaggerated and that the commercial flight had simply been a practical decision. Critics argued that going live on a private jet specifically to respond to an airport photo looked more like image management than genuine confidence. Both perspectives got plenty of traction, but the live stream did what Ross needed it to do. It shifted the conversation. Instead of the internet staying focused on the airport sighting, people were now talking about the Starlink upgrade, the jet's interior, and the latest exchanges in the 50 versus Ross rivalry. The debate moved from questions about Ross's finances to whether he had delivered the perfect clapback or was overcompensating. 50 Cent had no interest in letting it go. He reacted to the live stream and made it clear that he wasn't moved by the show. Rather than engaging with the jet or the Starlink upgrade, he brought the conversation right back to the commercial flight and suggested that one broadcast wasn't enough to change the narrative that had already taken hold online. His post spread just as fast as Ross's clips had, and fans from both sides flooded the comments with arguments about who was coming out ahead.
The back and forth got more personal as it continued. Ross made references to people in 50's personal life, 50 kept up the pressure with posts about Ross's finances and public image. At one point, 50 directed attention to documents he claimed raised questions about Ross's financial situation. Those supporters of Ross pushed back on those claims and argued that a successful entrepreneur doesn't need to justify every business decision to the internet. The conversation around the viral photo also triggered a broader discussion about image and branding in hip-hop. Several fans and commentators made the point that for most people, taking a commercial flight is completely normal. But when someone has spent years building an identity around private travel and excess, that same decision becomes a story. Ross has always understood this. The luxury image has never been accidental. It's been a deliberate part of the brand from the very beginning. And that's exactly why one airport photo carried so much weight. Supporters of Ross argued that successful people make practical travel choices all the time, and that a single photo doesn't define someone's financial reality. Supporters of 50 argued that the image Ross promotes invites exactly this kind of scrutiny, and that the viral moment was fair game. Neither side was backing down, and the internet kept the debate alive with every new clip, post, and meme.
There's also a separate, smaller storyline that fed into the broader Feud narrative around this same period, a podcast appearance where Rick Ross got into it with Fat Joe and Uncle Murda. During the conversation, the topic of older rappers being considered out of touch came up, and Ross brought 50's name into it. He was wearing a large ring at the time, reportedly worth a significant amount of money, and joked about using it to make a point physically, gesturing as if he might smack someone with it. Fat Joe immediately tried to steer the conversation elsewhere, telling Ross he was reaching and that wasn't what the discussion had been about. Ross then pivoted to bringing up Uncle Murda by a physical description involving his skin tone. Clips of the exchange spread quickly, with some viewers feeling 50's later response was simply him defending himself after being targeted first, while others felt the back and forth had gone too far on both sides. The rivalry between these two has always operated this way. Just when it seems like things are cooling off, one viral moment reignites everything. It happened with the yacht clip months earlier. It happened with the podcast comments. It happens every time either artist gets a moment of public attention and the other one sees an opening to jump in.
What makes this dynamic so durable is that both of them benefit from it. Every time 50 posts about Ross, he generates engagement. Every time Ross fires back, he keeps himself in the conversation. The internet rewards the back and forth, and both artists have been doing this long enough to know exactly how to keep people watching. There is a kind of mutual understanding buried underneath the public hostility, an unspoken agreement that the feud itself has become content, has become a recurring storyline that fans tune in for, the same way they would a long-running television series. The situation also brought attention to Ross's real estate holdings, and the broader question of whether any financial pressure could eventually affect his biggest properties. 50 leaned into this angle, pointing to documents and making claims that Ross's supporters dismissed, while his critics amplified. Whether those claims had any real substance or were simply another layer of the ongoing trolling is something only time will answer. Speculation alone, however, was enough to keep the story trending across multiple platforms for days. What's undeniable is that this entire cycle, from the airport photo to the private jet live stream to 50's reaction to Ross's clapbacks, kept both artists at the center of hip-hop conversation for days. Multiple platforms, multiple communities, and countless fans all engaged with the story from different angles, making it one of the more talked about moments in recent hip-hop beef history.
At the core of all of it is something that's been true about this rivalry since it started. These two know how to generate attention, and neither one of them is interested in giving the other the last word. Every response creates another wave. Every post becomes another talking point, and every time it looks like the conversation might die down, one of them finds a way to bring it right back. It's worth stepping back and asking why moments like this resonate so strongly with audiences in the first place. Part of it is simple curiosity about wealth and lifestyle. People are naturally drawn to stories that involve private jets, mansions, and the gap between perception and reality. Part of it is the entertainment value of watching two larger-than-life public figures trade shots without any real consequence attached. And part of it is generational. Fans who grew up on both 50 Cent's and Rick Ross's music have a kind of nostalgic investment in watching them continue to clash, even decades into their respective careers. It taps into something familiar. The same dynamic that made hip-hop rivalries must-watch content in the 2000s still plays out today, just across different platforms, with screenshots and live streams replacing magazine covers and radio interviews.
There's also the layer of authenticity that gets debated every time something like this happens.
When an artist has built their entire public persona around luxury and success, the audience naturally becomes invested in verifying whether that persona reflects reality. It's the same scrutiny applied to any public figure who leads with image. The moment that image appears to crack, even slightly, people want answers. Whether that scrutiny is fair or not is a separate conversation, but it's clearly part of what fuels the engagement around stories like this one. Whether the commercial flight meant anything financially, or whether it was genuinely just a practical travel call while the jet was being upgraded, the internet decided within hours that it was a story worth telling. And once that decision was made, both 50 Cent and Rick Ross made sure to get everything they could out of it. Now the question is yours. Do you think the commercial flight was completely blown out of proportion, or do you think 50 Cent made a fair point this round? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, hit like, subscribe, and share it so you don't miss the next time these two decide to go at it. Because based on everything we've seen, that next chapter isn't far off.